Alright, guys and girls, welcome back to Let's Play Wright versus Professor Layton. We finished our first turnabout. We were told to plead, Espella as guilty, but Phoenix knows something's wrong, so we decided to do our usual thing. We're progressing the case pretty nicely. Let's figure out what happens next. Phew. Glad the first part's over. That witness was quite a character. I bet he'd love to be one in a crime drama. He'd end up making it a comedy, though. I'd hate it if poor Espella was found guilty because of his shaky testimony. But at least now it looks like we might be able to get Espella a not guilty verdict. Yeah, I hope that cheered Espella up a bit.
Oh, she's not gonna like this.
I forgot about Darklaw.
She's reading my newspaper.
Maybe it's just me, but she doesn't look pleased. Oh, it's you. I appreciate your efforts, Mr. Wright. Thank you. But while I understand your drive to win this case, my drive? This is not the time for your personal ambitions. I told you before, didn't I? That Espella is pleading guilty, and that you should accept the proposed punishment. This incident has already been settled between our school and the police. But, Miss Darklaw, Espella could be innocent. Believe me, it will be in Espella's best interest if you end the trial as soon as possible. The more this trial drags on, the more traumatic it is for this poor girl. I'm sorry. She may be saying that she's guilty, but is she really? In any case, Mr. Wright, we don't want our school being shoved into the limelight because of this case. So if you could please refrain from picking at meaningless details, such as that toy. Get this trial over with quickly. This is your client's wish, Mr. Wright. I understand. I'll do my best. It's a relief to hear that. Let's go, Espella. See, now she says this is my client's wish, but Darklaw isn't my client. Espella is. And she's yet to say if she's guilty or not. Yes, Miss Darklaw. I've yet to hear that. What the heck was that all about? We've been busting our butts in there trying to prove that Espella is innocent, and she expects us just to give up now? Why are you yelling at me, Maya? But when you think about it, Darklaw's acting very strange. Her own people's on trial, and she just stands around reading other people's newspapers. Yeah, what's she so busy reading about anyway? There's nothing about Espella in that paper. Was she checking the soccer scores or something?
No, she was looking at the jewel theft.
The break is almost over. We'd better go back. Flinch looked really confident about this new witness. I'm Espella's defense attorney. I'll stand by her no matter what.
She hired the wrong lawyer to be a stooge for this.
That's for sure. The court will now reconvene. Prosecution, is your witness ready?
Of course, Your Honor. Bailiff, please bring her in.
Oh, look at this girl.
Witness, state your name and occupation.
My name is Olivia Al Dente.
Al dente.
The warm winds of the Mediterranean Sea carry the spicy scent of a seafood stew. A hot Sicilian stew that soothes the hearts of sailors braving the raging waters. Blessed be the Sicilian cuisine and il nostro mare.
Oh. Weird character, but okay.
Yes, Miss Al Dente is employed as a cook on the freighter where the crime happened.
A cook? That's, interesting attire you're wearing, Miss Al Dente.
This is my work outfit. Gets very hot in the kitchen, you know.
It would be a pleasant change after that chocoholic guard. He got up my nose.
Nice to see the judge is remaining impartial. Miss Al Dente discovered the defendant in the cargo hold when she went for supplies.
She found Espella? That would make her.
The crew member that Johnny saw fighting was Espella. That is right, Mr. Wright. Miss Al Dente was the first person to discover the intruder.
Then she is the victim of assault. Hit with a steel pipe, how cruel.
If I'd only had my precious kitchen knife with me at the time, I'd have shown her my exceptionale cutting skills. Nick, look at that. She's an expert potato peeler. You'd better watch out around her.
I'll keep that in mind. Witness, we will now hear your testimony. Describe to us what happened in the cargo hold.
Certamente, gladly.
Okay, let's see what she has to say.
I went to the cargo hold to check the supplies. It was past 10 p.m. And I found that girl, hiding and clutching one of them bizarro toys. She made as if to run away, so I tried to stop her. Then she grabbed the pipe. She's short, but she fiercely swung the pipe at me. I tried to dodge, but she hit me on the head. I blacked out for a few minutes.
According to the medical record, you suffered a laceration to your head, correct?
Ah, that. It's covered by the chef at so you can't see it now. But when I chop up veggies, it hurts in the rhythm of the strikes. Chop, chop, chop.
That sounds most terrible, Miss Al Dente.
I should have been more careful, but she looked like a little piccola girl. Olivia is much taller than Espella.
Yeah, Espella's about the same size as you.
I may be short, but I'm well proportioned, and that's what matters.
Your Honor, the prosecution would like to present the decisive evidence that proves the defendant's guilt. This is a photograph of the defendant's fingerprints on the steel pipe. As you can see, the fingerprints are very clear. They were left by the assailant. They have already been examined and found to be those of the defendant.
Well, that settles it. This is undoubtedly decisive evidence.
What?
The fingerprints on the weapon are Espella's.
Just to put your inquisitive mind at peace, Mr. Wright, there were no other fingerprints.
This photograph shall be added to the evidence.
Have I not warned you, Mr. Wright? Further examination is but a waste of time.
Nick, what do we do now? This evidence clearly points to Espella.
We're pleading that Espella's not guilty. And if she's innocent, then this witness is lying. All we need to do is expose that lie. I've got to think straight and focus on finding the truth. The defense may cross-examine the witness. When I found the girl,
I went to the cargo hood to check the supplies. It was past 10.
Hold it!
you had to check the supplies at that late hour. It must be tough being a cook.
No, Know the saying, a thirsty sailor will drink the old Mediterranean Sea? That's why I always need to make sure we're properly stocked up, sweetie.
She making those sayings up?
The incident occurred at 10:20, when Smiles was doing the rounds.
So she fought her for a whole 20 minutes? I see, I understand. And what happened in the cargo hold?
And I found that girl hiding and clutching one of them Bizarro toys.
And this bizarre toy she was holding was none other than...
PC Badger, was it? The girl held it in a tight grip, like a sea auk holds its prey.
Are you certain it was the defendant?
It was kinda dark in the room, but I swear on Neptune it was her.
The witness was engaged in a face-to-face fight with the defendant. Even if the room was poorly lit, there is no doubt she would recognize her assailant.
Espella was holding PC Badger. Did she intend to steal it? What did the witness do upon discovering the intruder?
She made it as if to run away, so I tried to stop her. Then she grabbed the pipe.
Hold it!
The defendant tried to escape.
Mm-hmm. She had nowhere to run, though, because she was at the far end of the room. I'm really good at catching chickens that try to run from the knife, so I caught her rapidamente.
And when you caught her, things took a violent turn.
Yeah, she was so small, you know. You wouldn't think she had that in her. There was a steel pipe propped against the wall right next to her.
Was it the pipe from this picture?
Mm-hmm, yeah. She picked it up and held it in both hands, and then... She's short, but she fiercely swung the pipe at me. I tried to dodge.
Hold it!
You're sure it was the defendant that swung the pipe at you?
Objection!
We know it was the defendant, because her fingerprints were found on the weapon. As you can see, she held the pipe with both hands, just as the witness has stated.
Espella's fingerprints. That's some hard evidence, but then again...
What is it, Nick?
There's something about those fingerprints.
Oh, it sounds like you're onto something, Nick.
Don't get too excited, it's just a hunch. These fingerprints, they don't look quite right to me for some reason. Espella swung this pipe while holding it in both hands.
In any case, pray tell us what happened after the defendant took a swing at you.
There's something about this that I have to present to. But what?
Objection!
That's wrong? Okay. Well, I thought, you know, because they keep saying she was clasping the PC Badger. Did she just really drop it, I guess? She hit on the head. It's definitely at that statement, but what? Okay, we'll skip that monologue-y mana.
Objection!
You're claiming that the defendant swung the pipe at you. Well, that's impossible.
Why do you say that, sweetie?
The defendant's fingerprints were found on the pipe, however. There's a contradiction here.
A contradiction? Impossible!
That is most interesting. Well then, the defense shall explain. What in the photo of the fingerprints contradicts the testimony? I gotta figure this out. The position of the fingerprints. It's the position of the fingerprints, Your Honor. Oh, the position? According to the witness testimony, the defendant held the pipe like this. In order to hit the witness on the head, she raised the pipe like so.
That is precise so. What she did.
And then she struck from above. But here's the problem. Think about the fingerprints that she would have left had she done just that. What are you getting at, Mr. Wright? Look closely at the way I'm holding the pipe in this situation. The fingerprints would be like that. Would look like this. The thumb is above the other fingers. Indeed, there's no doubt about it. But her fingerprints are different. Something's up with that. Now take a look at the fingerprints that were actually left on the pipe. Goodness, the thumb, it's below the other fingers.
What?
That's right. Miss Al Dente.
What is it?
Had the defendant attacked you as you described, the fingerprints would have been the other way around, which means something's not right with your testimony.
Uh-oh.
Order! What is the meaning of this? These fingerprints were submitted as decisive evidence. How come this contradiction was not brought to light before?
No!
Miss Al Dente, what do you have to say about this? Excuse me, Miss Al Dente?
Know how to bring out the full sweetness of a sweet potato?
Huh?
You use a pinch of salt. Interesting, right? You use salt to make something taste sweeter.
I'm not following.
I remember it now. It was the other way around. Not as you'd expect. I'm sorry, I got a bit confused. You'd normally hold a pipe like that. But she's so small and the pipe is heavy, she held it the other way.
The other way?
Not like this. She held it in this way.
Objection!
But you testified that she fiercely swung the pipe at you.
I'm telling you, I got confused. Olivia's sorry, okay?
How could you mistake the way she held the pipe if she was right in front of you?
Oh, why don't you go fry an egg? What does it matter if she held it one way or another? You wouldn't call a slightly salted sweet potato a salty potato because it's still a sweet potato, no matter what you add to it. The witness probably has a point, doesn't she, Mr. Wright?
Yeah. So the defendant attacked the witness, holding the pipe backhanded. Seems a bit unnatural, but it does make sense, I suppose.
Indeed it does, Your Honor. There's no problem with this evidence after all.
Does the defense agree? If I agree there are no problems with this evidence, we'll be one step away from losing this case. There's gotta be a contradiction somewhere in that fishy testimony. Could Espella have hit Olivia holding the pipe backhanded?
No. Proves there's a contradiction.
Objection!
She couldn't have. If she's as small as Maya is what I'm going with.
Well, Miss Idente, I'm afraid that you're in a pickle now.
I don't really see why.
Adding a pack of lies to a testimony can turn things very sour for a witness. It would seem the defense is prepared to prove its claim.
That there is a contradiction in this witness.
That there is a contradiction in this witness's testimony. Correct, Your Honor. I won't know until I try. The defense shall now present evidence to the court. The evidence contradicting the assertion that the defendant hit the witness holding the pipe backhanded is...
Take that!
Miss Ardente, you previously testified that you were using that hat to cover the wound you received in the assault. It's normal for Signorianos... I can't, no. To cover up the things they don't want others to see. That's not all. You also described the defendant as little, if you recall. That is to say, Miss Cantabella is at the very least shorter than you. I've grown tall and healthy thanks to the wonderful Mediterranean sunshine. Let me ask you then. How did a girl shorter than you, holding a heavy pipe backhanded, manage to land a blow to the back of your head? I'd say it's impossible. The fingerprints on the weapon show that the defendant held it backhanded. But even if she didn't, it is highly unlikely she would be able to hit Miss Aldente's head like that. Dun, 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 dun.
Well, order! I will have order! What is the defense getting at?
Objection!
Even if it was highly unlikely, it cannot be proven that it was impossible.
Miss Cantabella's fingerprints were found on that pipe, Your Honor. Nothing can change the fact that it was the defendant who held the weapon.
That is so. Does the defense have any comments?
I can't deny that. It's clear that Espella did hold the pipe. She held it like this, right? Why would she do that? It'd be hard to hit anyone like this. She was blocking. She wasn't the one holding it. This witness was trying to attack her with it. When she holds it like that, it looks as if...
The court recognizes the validity of the prosecution's objection. Fingerprints on the weapon prove that it was used by the defendant.
Objection!
Yeah, thank you, Maya. The defendant's fingerprints may be on the pipe, however. That doesn't prove she hit anyone with it.
Objection!
Nonsense! What else would she pick up a steel pipe for?
Objection!
Oh, I think I've got a pretty good idea.
Well then, the defense may elaborate on this idea.
What I say next would turn this trial around. The defendant's fingerprints were left on the weapon when she tried to defend herself. Well, naturally. She held the pipe with both hands when she stopped it from coming down on her head.
Stopped it?
What? With both hands? That's right, like this. Please take another look at this photo. These are not the fingerprints of an assailant, but rather the fingerprints of a victim who was defending herself. Which brings us to the conclusion that Miss Cantabella didn't attack the witness. She was in fact a victim desperately trying to defend herself. This cannot be! And if Miss Cantabella was a victim, who was the real assailant? There's only one person who could have done it. The only other person at the crime scene was Olivia Aldente. It was you, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh.
Order, order, order. If I cannot have order, the court will be adjourned. Be quiet, all of you.
Oh God.
You just don't quit, do you?
Oh, no, it's not. Nope, it wants to live. I'm sorry.
A lousy lawyer like you should get the job. How about I show you my nav up close?
Objection!
Have you lost your mind, Mr. Wright? The witness is the victim, not the assailant. There are no fingerprints other than the defendant's on the weapon.
Objection!
Because she wears gloves.
Look at the witness's outfit.
She's wearing gloves. That's why she left no fingerprints.
Yeah, you prickly sea urchin.
Objection!
But you cannot be sure she was wearing gloves that night.
Objection!
The witness has called this her work outfit, so she must have been wearing it when she went to check the supplies.
Oil it!
You devious lawyer, slippery as an eel. It was me because I had gloves on. As if it was only me wearing gloves. She's the only one in the courtroom wearing gloves. There was that guy. The guard. He was wearing gloves too.
The guard? Oh, was that the previous witness?
Oh, that's right. Gloves are part of guards' uniforms by regulation. See? That guard, Johnny, it was wearing gloves that night too.
What do you say to that, Mr. Wright? Since you're claiming that the assailant is the person you had gloves on, that would make the guard a suspect as well.
Could Johnny be the culprit?
It's impossible.
Johnny Smiles is not the culprit. Why not? Anyone with gloves could have done it. Didn't you just say that? No, I didn't.
However, it does seem plausible that the guard could have done it. He was wearing gloves after all.
I'm afraid that's impossible, Your Honor, and I have proof.
You do?
Fascinating. Let's see this proof if you really have it. Please enlighten us as to why Smiles cannot be the culprit.
Take that!
Because he likes chocolate.
Mr. Smiles is, to put it nicely, what you may call a free spirit. There's no guarantee he would follow the rules and wear his full uniform. And this evidence proves he did not wear gloves. Well, wait! Don't throw that filthy torch at me!
Someone please wipe the chocolate off this evidence.
No, Your Honor. This chocolate is the evidence. What? Mr. Smiles was snacking on a chocolate bar during his patrol. That's why his flashlight is in this sorry state.
I like how they make sure to make the switch. Like Phoenix has flashlight because he's American. They say torch because English. It's cool. It's those little things that, you know, makes it authentic and cool.
Covered in his chocolatey fingerprints. Therefore, we know that he didn't wear gloves when patrolling the ship that night. Rule-breaking, chocolate-loving Johnny Smiles was not the culprit. What? That's ridiculous!
Objection!
Your Honor, the defense has merely pointed out a possibility. To call this witness a criminal without actual evidence against her is preposterous.
Objection!
The prosecution's duty is to clear what doubts there may be regarding the defendant's guilt. And I have demonstrated that there is, at the very least, a possibility that the witness is not telling the truth.
Objection!
At the very least, Espella Cantabella is not innocent. As corroborated by PC Badger, the toy that she attempted to steal. Ah! What was that? Did Olivia just freeze for a second?
Prosecutor Flinch, explain to the court about this toy, this new piece of evidence.
This is the stuffed toy the defendant tried to steal that night.
One of its legs would appear to be missing, the poor thing.
This mishap befell PC Badger as the witness and defendant were fighting. The captain of the freighter reported the damage after the defendant's arrest. So, this is the stuffed animal Olivia snatched from Espella.
I see. The court would like to hear the witness's testimony regarding this evidence.
Witness, your testimony. Can you please stop?
Excuse me, witness. You have been asked to testify.
I'm so very sorry. I got a little upset from all these accusations. I'm not used to this, to being called a liar.
Ah, yes, it's only natural. Don't worry about it. It's all that slimy attorney's fault. Why do I feel like an eel on a chopping board?
The witness will now testify. Tell us how you retrieved this toy from the defendant.
Gladly. Oh, il nostro mare.
I wonder what she's saying. I don't get it. Whatever she said, I'll make sure this is the last time she says it in court. Bring it on. Bring it on. About PC Badger.
I wrestled this toy back from that thief and then gave it in to the police. When I found that girl, I thought I couldn't let her get away with our precious cargo. Naturalmente, I had to get that toy back from her first. Its leg got ripped off though. But there's no way I could have attacked her with the pipe. I was holding the toy in one hand. I don't remember much about when I was it. But I got the toy back at least.
Wow. Total change.
Ah, I see. What a commendable attitude. Going to such lengths to protect the cargo.
I may not be a security guard, but I'll do what it takes for the sake of our ship.
It didn't do much good in the end. This PC Badger is way too damaged to be sold.
These lovely little toys are made at the workshop in London. We transport them down the River Thames, distributing them to children as we go.
Didn't she call them Bizarro toys earlier? And now suddenly they're cute?
And what about the fingerprints on this toy?
It is a soft toy after all, so no usable fingerprints were found.
Well, that is unfortunate. Regardless, the court accepts it into evidence.
I'm pretty sure I already see a clear, contradiction.
The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
I think. Pretty positive. I don't know if it's here or on the other statement. Okay.
Hold
Is
it!
it here? So you didn't hit the defendant with the steel pipe.
Aren't you forgetting who's the victim is, sweetie? I meant, and I didn't strike myself with that pipe. Aren't you getting things backwards? Feeling dizzy? Maybe you haven't been eating properly?
She's right. Someone else must have hit her.
Maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but I don't remember much about when I was it, but I got the toy back at least.
Hold it!
You don't remember much about it.
Yeah, and the room was dark because only the emergency light was on. But there was definitely no one else in that room, only me and that little girl. So it had to be me.
She's not having second thoughts about that, it seems. Well, Nick, this one's easy. I know what to do.
You're finally starting to act like your normal self. That jet lag must have hit me like a ton of bricks now.
There is a clear contradiction in Olivia's testimony. It's time to present some evidence and expose her lies. I just don't know where it's at.
Hold it!
I know there's a clear one. I know it.
Naturalmente caught a red-handed. She was trying to steal it, I'm telling you.
precious cargo was picked up from London?
Yeah, the workshop where they make them is by the River Thames. We came to pick up the cargo regularly.
As it's a regular direct delivery service, we did not see the need to investigate the cargo.
If you confiscated our cargo for inspection, I wouldn't be able to carry out my cooking experiments.
Confiscate? What the heck is she cooking with exactly?
I think we can also see how committed Miss Aldente is to her work.
Commitment and passion are the main ingredients of every dish I cook.
What do I got? Evidence.
Objection!
Yeah, I knew that was wrong.
Dang it.
Alright. That's fine, that's fine. There's a clear one here, and I saw it, and I don't know where to press.
Hold it! Hold it!
Someone else must have hit her. I don't know how she doesn't remember when she was in a big fight with her.
Objection!
See, I'm not getting like where to press that. I'm failing completely. It's not good.
Objection!
There it is. Miss Aldente, I would like to confirm just one thing. The stuffed animal you submitted to the police, is it this one? With the tag on it, when she had the tag of the one that they wrestled with. So she's a clear liar. I just wasn't sure where to press.
Yeah, that's the one. No doubt about it.
I'm sorry, but if that's the case, things simply don't add up.
Wait, what doesn't add up?
If it's about the leg, it's that girl's fault. It got ripped off because she wouldn't let go.
The problem is not something that's missing from the stuffed animal. On the contrary, it's something that shouldn't be there in the first place.
Is it something that shouldn't be there?
And that is, of course, this item.
That's...
This is the final piece of evidence received from the guard, Mr. Smiles. When I seized the girl at the crime scene, She was clasping this in her hand. She didn't even seem to notice. And what would that be?
It would appear to be Prissy Batter's tag, Your Honor.
Strange, isn't it? Something was definitely ripped off this plushie. But it wasn't its leg. It was the tag.
Poor eel.
You noticed it too, didn't you, Miss Ardente? If this is the stuffed animal that Miss Cantabella was holding when you found her, then why is the tag still on it?
Kya!
Order! Order! I will have order!
Hey, you tasteless-looking prosecutor over there. Yes? What's this about the tag? You didn't tell me anything about that. If you'll please calm down.
It's no use blaming the prosecutor. He didn't even know this tag existed.
Objection!
Witness, I had not been informed of such evidence. If you had this in your possession, why didn't you hand it in the police?
Oh yeah, it was Smiles kept it. I guess we can thank Chocolate Man then for getting us a big hit on this. He was right.
For better or for worse, this tag's existence has only recently come to light. Neither the prosecution nor you, Your Honor, knew about it before this trial.
Gwa!
But then, why is there a tag on this toy? How come this toy has a tag? The answer is simple. There is a tag on the stuffed animal because...
Did you put a new tag on it?
The witness placed a new tag on its neck. And what would she have done that for?
That's maybe she wanted to conceal the fact it got damaged in the fight?
Preposterous, the toy is missing a leg. Surely that is a bigger issue.
Come on, Nick, that would be pointless.
Oh, about we a useless attorney tag on your neck, darling.
Yeah, great. Let's all play gang up on Phoenix, guys.
That's right. Yeah, okay. I wanted to see the failure. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The toy was swapped.
There's only one possibility. Miss Ardente, before handing the plushie into the police, you swapped it for another.
Kya! Listen to yourself. Why would I even do something like that? Ridiculolo! And that's right, that tag must be a fake.
A fake? Why would you think that?
That chocolate freak must be trying to frame me. That's what it is.
Objection!
Mr. Smiles has no motive to do something like that.
Objection!
No motive?
It doesn't require much thinking to come up with one. He wanted attention. Yes, what Ace said. The guard lied to show off. That's all there is to it.
Did Johnny produce bogus evidence to draw attention to himself?
It is kind of possible that he would do that, but because he thinks of himself like he's the best guard in the world. He probably wouldn't draw attention to himself.
It's an interesting theory, but it's impossible. I mean, because just him being him draws attention to himself, right? And how do you know?
You dice you like an onion.
Anyway, was Mr. Smiles lying? There's an easy way to find out. What? How do you plan to check it? By checking the fingerprints, of course.
Fingerprints? No, yeah.
According to Mr. Smiles' testimony, when he sees Miss Cantabella, she was holding the tag in her hand. Therefore, her fingerprints should still be on the tag.
Yeah.
well, that too.
Bailiff, Have this evidence investigated immediately.
That was awesome, Nick. We've almost got her now.
Mr. Flinch, I have a question for you.
What is it?
When you searched the crime scene, did you find a toy without a tag? Well, Mr. Flinch, did you?
No, we, considering the circumstances, it did not seem necessary to investigate quite so thoroughly. But at the very least, I can tell you that all the toys in the crate had tags on.
Excuse me, Your Honor. What is it, Mr. Wright? It appears no stuffed animal was found without a tag. Which means that it may still be hidden at the crime scene. Your Honor, the defense requests that the ship be searched thoroughly this time. Send a forensics team there, immediately. You're requesting another search.
Objection!
What? Surely you can't be serious.
Whether the toy was swapped or not, it doesn't matter in the least. They're all the same. Any of them will do just fine.
That is exactly why it's important. All these plushies are the same. There's no need to swap one for another. And yet... why is the witness getting so worked up about it?
That's just...
I had a feeling that there was something odd about this case. A stolen stuffed animal, and an assault connected to it. There had to be more to it. There had to be another crime under the surface.
Nick.
This is it. What should I do? Request the search. Your Honor, the defense insists on a search. Should a plushie without a tag be found on the ship, then there's a strong possibility that this case will be resolved.
Objection!
The prosecution does not acknowledge the need for...
Oh, she broke. What the hell? Poor fish.
You can't! No, you can't search it again! You just can't!
Witness! Miss Al Dente! Why did you swap the stuffed animals? And why are you so afraid of having the ship searched? PC Badger holds all the answers. I say, Mr. Wright, could it be that you already know the reason behind the swap? Of course, I don't have any definitive proof, but when it comes to pointing out a possibility, I might have something. Very well then, let's see some evidence. Do you have any evidence that would explain why Miss Aldente is against the search?
Take that!
There's a certain article in this newspaper. Elusive jewel thieves at large in London, Scotland Yard on red alert. Oh, that robbery. I've heard about it, of course. A group of thieves robbed a jewelry shop and made away with about 50 pieces of jewelry. Many extremely valuable stones were stolen, as well as Scotland Yard's under great pressure to find them. All packages sent from London are being scrutinized by the police.
And what does this have to do with our case? Nothing.
I beg to differ. The jewel theft took place in London. And that's where our freighter picked up its cargo.
London, it can't be. Witness?
That's right. You discovered the defendant in the cargo hold. She was holding one of the plushies. You knew you had to get it back. You had to get it back at all costs, but why go so far for a mere plushie? Oh God. There's only one possible reason. You couldn't afford to have the police discover what was inside of it. Damn.
The fish is like, I'm winning this. No, get out. That was awesome. So they hid the jewels inside the plushies.
We have just received a report from the team investigating the crime scene. The toy was hidden between a storage unit and a pipe.
Ah,
The toy has been cut open and the contents examined, and this was found inside a pink diamond worth approximately 100,000 euros.
we have also received a report from the crime lab. The defendant's fingerprints have been found on the tag. Do you have anything to say, Miss Al Dente?
Fish face.
I lost, didn't I?
So you are a...
Yeah, I am one of them. I'm one of the jewel thieves. My role is to get the loot out of London. The police never checked the regular shipments from that workshop. We decided to take advantage of that blind spot.
Indeed. The regular direct delivery service has been overlooked by the police.
Possibly because that workshop produces the very mascot representing the police.
The other crew had nothing to do with it. I used their ship, that's all.
It was you who hid the jewels inside the plushies.
There was one jewel in each toy. I was carrying them away one by one.
The defendant happened to pick one of those toys up.
I had my heart stand still when I saw that girl in the cargo hold. Whenever I was free, I stood guard in front of that room, and yet she got in somehow. So there she was, in the room with the hidden loot, one of the toys in her hand. So how did Espella get in there? I don't know if she was trying to steal the toy or what, but I just had to get it back from her, no matter the cost. Then I handed in a different toy and made it look like it was ripped in the fight. It would have been over for me if the police had found any of the jewels. But wait, who was it in the end? Who hit Olivia? Oh, I almost forgot about that.
At first, I thought it must have been that little girl that hit me. But now I don't know.
You don't know?
No one else was supposed to be in that room. But what if there was someone in the shadows? Some mischievous person hidden in the darkness.
Like Dark Law, maybe. This was a most unusual case. It cannot be said that all mysteries have been resolved, but it has become clear that Miss Cantabella is innocent. Well then, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
It would seem that I owe you thanks for helping us see the truth.
No need to thank me, Your Honor. I was just doing my job, like I always do. Is that really the smartest thing you could come up with?
And, Mr. Flinch,
Yes, Your Honor.
this trial was part of the Legal League of Attorneys exchange program, wasn't it? May this trial serve as a lesson for you too. Is that understood?
Ooh. It is as you say, Your Honor.
Oh, look at his eyes.
Don't look. You have the glasses, I can't see, and I don't want to be seen. Where are you?
Okay. I like him as much as Pain.
Well then. The court has reached its verdict. I pronounce the defendant, Espella Cantabella, not guilty.
Yay. Party. Party. Congratulations, you did it, Nick.
Yeah, thanks. Guess I should be happy. But Darklaw's cold gaze is staring daggers through me.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're better than I thought. Had I known earlier, I would have asked you to prove Espella innocent from the very start. I'm glad you're happy about the verdict. Espella, come and thank Mr. Wright.
she's got the book.
Thank you, Mr. Wright.
Glad I could help.
Hey, Espella. What's that big book you've got there?
Oh, please forgive her. She's a bit shy. You see, she's very fond of books. At any rate, now Espella can return to her peaceful life at our boarding school. And it's all thanks to your hard work, Mr. Wright.
She really seems, yeah.
Now please excuse us. We have some formalities to attend to. Oh, yeah, of course. Mr. Wright, you were truly outstanding in that courtroom today. Farewell. Phew, it's finally over.
You know, something's still bothering me about this case. The person who hit Olivia, where did they go?
That's true. We don't know who actually assaulted Olivia. If it wasn't Espella, there must have been another person at the crime scene.
But neither Olivia nor Johnny saw anyone else.
The room was dark, save for the emergency light. I'm sure someone hid in the shadows. And Johnny was wearing sunglasses. I'm amazed he saw anything at all. He missed all those clues, so it's not much of a stretch to imagine he missed the perpetrator too.
Or maybe the perpetrator was a witch. They could get around them easily.
How about we head back now?
Okay, let's go check out Tower Bridge while we still have some daylight left.
Oh god, where Layton and them disappeared at.
What is it, Maya?
There, on the couch. Isn't that Espella's book? It is the book she was holding. We should return it to her. Hey, Nick, let's see what kind of stuff Espella likes to read.
Just quit it, Maya.
Don't open that, Maya.
Labyrinthia, huh?
What?
Huh?
Huh? Maya, look!
Huh?
That's them.
Hey, Nick, look, that's us, isn't it?
It's happening again!
To be continued. I have a feeling on the next part we're gonna go. We'll be in Labyrinthia. So I don't whether we play as Layton or Phoenix. We're here. We get to see what's going on in this crazy book. 250. Nice. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Leave a like, subscribe. I'll end it there, and I'll see you next time. Bye.